Bitcoin is back at around $80,000, exactly as we predicted it here yesterday. And now I'm going to show you a potential new catalyst that already is shaping up here to help us to pump the market back to the upside. If you want to know what I'm talking about, then let's go, guys. Guys, thank you so much for tuning in here on that Tuesday today. I almost forgot that it's Tuesday. I wanted to almost say Wednesday. So let's jump directly into it. China is now fighting back the tariffs of Trump, that tariff war. So, and what they did was they have now devalued their own currency to boost exports. And by doing so, they facilitated for people also to buy assets like Bitcoin and other things. So we have seen that in the past when China devalued their yuan, or when the yuan was falling, the same like with the dollar, that led to an increase in risk on assets being bought. So, and this is here the same thing right now. That's why we see Bitcoin today, over the whole day here, already pumping. So, which is of course something that we like to see. So at the same time, when I go here now to the DXY, then also here you see the DXY is today here getting rejected from the 103.4 points level to the downside. Again, I told you this is a strong resistance, and I expect here over basically into until Friday that we definitely see here a turnaround and coming here lower in direction of like 101 points, which will then result in, again, higher prices for Bitcoin overall. Again, I showed it to you guys yesterday. If you want to trade Bitcoin without the risk of actually losing money, then go to PIONEX, sign up there. You get $1,000 for completing some simple tasks. Today I have problems with the login for some reason. There's like a Google pop-up and that is not loading so that I can properly log in into the account to show you that we are now again in profit on the strategy, guys. Really simple. Go to the link in the description and the pin comment below to sign up there. And then there is another link where you can just simply copy the strategy with the grid bot that I have set up, guys. Really simple to do. Takes you a couple of minutes, but definitely worth it, because you have seen yesterday that even though Bitcoin is over 20% down since when I started the bot, we were down only 5%. So which is amazing. So now when we look at Bitcoin, for now, the weekly candle is looking exactly the way that I would like it to be. And that is that we got here a nice bounce off the 200 moving average on the weekly, putting in a pinball candle, which will lead to most likely next week a massive pump to the upside, at least back to like $86,000 or $90,000, that kind of range. You see also the MACD is turning around, printing a lighter red candle, showing you that selling pressure is now leaving the market. The stochastic is turning around, the RSI pointing to the upside. Don't forget, there is right now not a bullish divergence, but we are in the process of making one. On a 12-hourly chart, also here, we are running now closer into the VPVR. Oh, sorry, the EMA ribbon. That's what I wanted to say. The EMA ribbon, which is sitting at around $82,000. So expect there some resistance. The trade that we have currently running is here in massive profits. And I can tell you, I think around that level here somewhere, I gonna take some money off the table. But also here, stochastic running nicely to the upside, MACD turning around, RSI going sideways, because here is already a small resistance area here coming from these candles with prior support exactly here at around $80,500. So that support got broken here with that massive move to the downside. Now we are retesting that. Once we reclaim that, we have then to struggle with the EMA ribbon and the prior upward sloping support line. But come next week, I believe that we will be absolutely fine and back above the mid $80,000. Now on the MDX algo scalp gradients here, you see what I mean. You know, around $83,000 is the target. So we are more than halfway. We are kind of halfway right now. Yeah, kind of 3% up from that trade. So that is more or less halfway from the trade. So what you should do right now is, if you took the trade with me together on Bybit or on ZoomX, set a stop loss here just around $78,000. So because If you get stopped out, you will walk away with profit minus the fees, but it will be still profit. So just in case that this turns against you, right now you have to make sure that you preserve your capital as much as you can. And otherwise you just let the trade run here into our target. The scalp gradients are telling us price action is currently warming up a little bit to go back to the upside. We got a nice buy tag also yesterday. The react indicator also swinging back to the upside, but I need to see here a break above $81,200 to be a little bit more confident that we are running straight up here. On ZoomX, the trade itself is almost up $1,000. Like I said, also I will set now here stop loss. I will walk away at least with $370. Regardless of that, guys, if you want to trade on ZoomX, don't forget that ZoomX has still here the Formula One campaign running, where you can potentially win a ticket to come to Miami or Monaco. Everything is paid, guys. Everything is paid. The only thing that you need to do is sign up if you're not already signed up, and then take part in the lucky draw. And in the lucky draw, you can get a ticket to Monaco or to Miami. And you have also a lot of other cool prizes here, like 1 Bitcoin, 1 Ethereum, $500, $1,000. Here a cap signed by the drivers, you know, so, or even here, yeah, okay, 20 Dodge is not that much right now, but you get the point, you know, so you can definitely, you will win something when you spin here. So, and if you're lucky enough, you win a ticket to Formula One. So use the link in the description and pin comment below to take part in that, because this is running out here roughly in 3 weeks from now. Here, the falling broadening wedge. Here, I just want to point out that area here, really quickly, because here you see that is currently the resistance that we are running in, because you can see here, there. So that's like kind of the zone. So once we're breaking above $81,100, we're gonna get a move to like 83. That's why we take profit there on the trade setup. And because on the broadening falling wedge, that is also where we are going to hit the downward sloping trend line, which is of course resistance. And I don't expect that we are straight going through that, you know. So I expect there another rejection, and the V shape will be then also completed. The V-shaped recovery here on the 4-hourly chart. So there's a lot of confidence why we should take our money off the table once we are getting there. And that is exactly the plan that I have, and that's what I'm going to do, and you should do the same. Now on the liquidation levels, we have here cleaned already quite a bit up, but we are still here level at $81,400. Once we're getting above that, we should get some follow through at least into the 200 moving average here on the 4-hourly chart at $82,300. You see that the 50 is already, the 200 is already turning around here for that golden cross that we were expecting over here. So, and now it will be most likely next week, you know, within a week, most likely we're going to get it, and that will put Bitcoin close to $90,000 somewhere once we are printing that golden cross. So here on the lower end, the high leverage long positions, they are all the way down to $76,400. I don't see us really going there unless something crazy is again announced today. I think, was it not Powell speaking today? I think Powell is speaking in a little bit today. So that could change things potentially. But if it's a nothing burger, nothing will change, you know, so, and we are not taking out here these levels that have basically just built up here in the last coming hours. So I'm not expecting that we are going straight down here because there's not so much liquidity there yet, and rather either chop sideways or go here up, get rejected from there, come back down, and then actually start breaking into higher levels. So when we are going here, the liquidation heat map, then you see there's, like I said, not a lot below us currently. All the liquidity is sitting above us. So it makes right now a lot of sense to see price climbing higher, even though it might be slow and steady. But that is what it looks like from a liquidity perspective. Before I go into altcoins, guys, I just want to remind you, I trade all my altcoin trades on Bybit. So if you want to trade with me on Bybit, guys, and get $30,000 worth of bonuses, plus get invited to exclusive events like the Formula One, also everything paid, then use the link in the description below, and you also get a debit card on Bybit. Do I have my wallet here? Yeah, with that Bybit card, I pay literally for everything, every single day. I'm paying with this Bybit card. So if you want one, sign up on Bybit. They have 10% cashback, you know, so that's even something else that I almost forgot to mention. 10% cashback. So I buy something, imagine I buy gold. I buy gold, I get 10% straight back. So now my gold is already up 10%. You know, imagine I use that card on an exchange. I never tried, you know, I never tried to use it on an exchange. And I buy Bitcoin, I'm up straight 10% because I get 10% cash back. So make use of a card like that, guys, you know. So use the link in the description and the pin comment below. And there's also still a $500 free airdrop position that you can also get. The Bitcoin dominance is finally coming here back to the downside. Remember, I told you this, that I'm not expecting that we are going to break out of that rising wedge pattern here. So, but of course, we need to wait here still a little bit more to get here the proper breakdown, which will most likely be happening in a couple of days. If now Trump does something that is equally as good for the markets, what China just did, then this will accelerate really quickly. So, but for now, I'm just waiting that we come here to the bottom of the rising wedge here again, break the bottom support, and start to break it into lower levels. The same with the total free market cap. Remember what I said, I wanted a close above $700 billion yesterday. That's exactly what we got. Now we're getting here right now a morning star pattern, an evening star pattern in the candle formation. I would like to go a little bit higher here, like another $30 billion to have it properly. And that is a bottoming candle formation, just that you know. And that would be a signal that we are going to get a break finally of this downward sloping trend line and start moving dramatically to the upside. Oh, I think maybe Powell did say already something because Bitcoin is moving. I see it here on the other screen that Bitcoin is moving. Let's see here. Ethereum, tweezer bottom in process right now. Over here, these two candles, tweezer bottom. Stochastic bottoming out here, RSI turning around. MACD still needs maybe like a day-ish or two. But then also here we should see improvements to the upside. Here, the first target should be $1,876 if you are trading this, but wait for this daily close. If we close as it is right now, you can long it because the next candle will just go straight up. So, and the price target would be, or the profit that we can make here. Yeah, like roughly 19%, guys. 19% from current price levels to the upside. So, and you see everything is overextended here and oversold. So it does make sense that we are forming here a bottom and tomorrow see here some fireworks to the upside. So one of the other coins that I'm looking at here is Solana. Remember, I gave you here two trade setups yesterday. The one was here just up here to like $119. The other one is to $144 to $119. Oh, we are almost there. If you would have taken a trade yesterday, you would be up here almost 12%, guys. Almost 12% on a trade. Here, set a stop loss at $106. If you're in that trade, just to make sure that you walk with some money away if it turns around now. Yeah, and you just leave the rest, you know, because the stochastic is topping out here. The RSI is rolling over. The MACD is still bullish. But unless, yeah, there is a little bit more momentum to the upside. So we could actually reach $120 before this is turning around here based on the 1 hourly chart. So, but we are running out of time here. You know, we have here 3 hours to do that until the next 4 hourly close. And if it then not happened yet, then it will not happen at all, in my opinion. Another one that I have an eye on is Link. Here also stochastic at the bottom, gave a buy signal, MACD turning around, RSI going to the upside. Here, as long as we are above $11.60, we should get continuation. Also here, at least to like $14.44, with another move into the 200 moving average at $17.18. These are my short to midterm targets for Link. The next one is Coty. So Coty, if you enter right now, also here, the 200 moving average will be the target, 83%, guys. I cannot give you easier money than that, to be honest. So because we are here going along that downward sloping trend line, so which is more or less a falling wedge. And look at this here. The stochastic is absolutely dead flat. And when you see something like this, that is where I buy massively when I see something like this, because usually a huge bounce is coming with that. The bounce alone, or the pump alone that we could get here, could be straight 20 to 30% in one single daily candle. So that's why I'm telling you guys, get ready, so set a stop loss here at around $5.04. That's like a 5% stop loss roughly. But the return is worth it, here potentially 83%, even without leverage. So this is what I'm looking at here right now. And then the last one is Ripple. So Ripple just bounced. I missed to open my position here, like 1% or 2% from current price, but that's fine. Also here, stochastic turning around, RSI pointing to the upside, MACD turning around, and was anyway printing only flat red candles, even though that was a severe drop. Here, as long as we are above $1.90, expect continuation, at least into the downward sloping trend line. So, and from current price, that would bring us also roughly to $2.11, another 8% to the upside from where we are. So if we break that trend line, then straight $2.47, and that, of course, is then a 27% move roughly that you can bank here. So again, my stop loss would be under the opening price of today's candle here, the $1.85. So that's where I would set my stop loss for that trade setup, and that is roughly a 5% stop loss. So you have to decide for yourself if it's worth to lose 5% to make 8%. But it is definitely worth the trade if you trade it to $2.47. Then it's 5% potential loss against 27% potential gain. So that is a trade worth taking. Guys, that's already for today's episode. I hope you enjoyed it. Please make sure that you smash up the like button, hit the subscribe button, hit the notification bell. And I hope to see you with more money in your portfolio